Hey guys, as a continuation of the series of videos that I'm doing on carrying a gun for personal protection, I thought that I would do a quick video on one of the many ways that I carry a gun, an ankle holster. It struck me that most people I know that carry a gun don't generally use an ankle holster, and I do almost every day. So I kind of wanted to go over some of the pros and cons of that and why I specifically do, and why it works for me in my personal life. After we go over some of the pros and cons on using an ankle holster, I'll do a quick demonstration on the correct way to utilize an ankle holster. There is a right and a wrong way to wearing an ankle holster. So first and foremost, a quick question. Why would anybody wear an ankle holster? They're not particularly convenient. There's probably no harder way to draw a gun effectively than an ankle holster. So why would I spend my time and money on one? Why do I wear one almost every day? So the two reasons that in my brain you would ever consider an ankle holster, number one is if you have to wear it for deep concealment. It's very unusual that a guy walks up to you and you look down at his feet, okay? It's not typical to look at somebody's ankle the first time you meet him. So even if there is a slight bulge or slight printing on his leg from the ankle holster, most people don't notice that kind of thing. Most people are hilariously unaware of the people around them. So the first reason is deep concealment. For a lot of years I worked at a job where it never really came up, so it's not necessarily that I wasn't allowed to wear a gun, but I worked with the public, so it didn't make a lot of sense to be walking around in a sales position with a gun on your hip that other people can see. Don't make no mistake, I carried a gun every day, but I had to figure out a way to do it that was safe, concealable, and readily accessible just in case. So an ankle holster was a really good option for me. The second reason that you would conceivably want to use an ankle holster is to have a backup gun. So a lot of times I carry two guns, gun on my hip, and I also have a smaller gun or a different gun on my ankle. That's not because I'm paranoid or something. The real reason that I would carry two guns personally is because most of my friends don't carry guns. And if there's a situation where shit's popping off and we're together, I'd like to be able to arm my buddy. That's honestly how I see it. Generally, if you were to be in some sort of firefight, you'd want your primary weapon to be the only gun you use. I mean, if it gets down to where you're like pulling out derringers and stuff, you got other problems. And if I felt like I needed more than just my primary weapon, I wouldn't pick another gun. I would just carry more ammo for that primary weapon. So an additional gun is ostensibly for me to arm someone else in case we're in a situation where we need to get out. Mostly for me, it's about the concealability factor. Like I said, there's certain situations, if you're at a wedding or like at the movies or whatever, or a bar or someplace where it's illegal to carry a gun, that kind of deep concealment makes sense. It's not ideal. It's not easy to draw from an ankle holster, but it's better than nothing. So we talked about this weapon before. This is my Ruger LCR-X, and we had kind of discussed that it's small enough to conceal pretty easily. This is about as large of a gun as I would want with an ankle holster, because anything bigger than this wouldn't be very comfortable or concealable. The ankle holster I use for this, and forgive me, it's all beat up, because I've had it for many years, is a Galco. Galco gun leather is, widely considered to be some of the best you can purchase. So this is kind of this is a very simple setup. You can get like molded Kydex holsters or whatever. I chose just like kind of a, this is leather, but it's, not super high end. It's kind of inexpensive. But let's flip it over. You see, the most important part of any ankle holster, because it's a weird place to carry a gun all day, is this part. This is the part that touches your leg. Ostensibly it's going to be on your sock, but sometimes it does ride up or down, and so you want it to be comfortable. This is like sheepskin, like, sheep fur. So it's very comfortable, it's warm, you don't even really notice you have it on. I have other ankle holsters that are just like pure like nylon here, and that ends up blistering your leg. It can. So it is Velcro, the fuzzy side, and here's the hook side. This has a really nice retention strap, also leather. So this is pretty secure. I've never, ever, ever, ever had a problem with this holster. It's comfortable, it's secure, it covers the trigger, which we talked about is important. I wanted to quickly show you how the gun sits in the holster. So yeah, Galco makes really high quality holsters. This is comfortable, and it's relatively inexpensive. I think I paid $30 or $40 for this like 5 years ago. But you can definitely see that it fits well. It's nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. You'll also notice at the bottom of this is there's a hole down there, like it's open. That's because you're much more likely to get debris or water or something into your holster while it's got on your ankle. That's a fact. You're going to collect dust and water and that kind of thing sometimes. And that's so it drains out. You can see how muddy this is down here because I've used this holster while I'm hiking before, and it's gotten muddy, and it's protected the gun. So anyway, this is my system for ankle carry for this 38. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about how to get this holster on. It's very, very easy. So you always want to have the gun in the holster first. There's nothing worse than putting an ankle holster on and then trying to jam the gun in there. And it's a good way to accidentally pull a trigger or something. So I like to have it secured already. Pointing away from you. You pull your sock up as high as it'll go. Lay it against it right above your ankle bone. That's it. Now if you're not paying attention, that's pretty well concealed. I don't know if you can see my feet, but here we go. No problem. Let's talk about the proper way to utilize an ankle holster. There is a right and wrong way to draw from one. In any movie I've ever seen, when the hero or the protagonist uses an ankle holster, they're using it wrong. I don't know why. It's like this Hollywood thing where like they wear it wrong. So in the movies, what you generally see is the hero, the guy carrying the gun, wears the gun over here on their strong side on the outside of their leg. Okay, that's just not correct. That's not how you would effectively draw and utilize an ankle holster. The correct way is to use it on the inside of your weak leg. Okay, so use a cross draw. There's a reason for this. Okay, you are much more stable reaching into your mass and creating a tight little unit here than you are reaching over here on your knees. You're way off balance if you're reaching away from your body. Let's just do a quick practice draw and I can show you sort of how it's meant to work, or how I would draw. Okay, so here we go. Okay, that's about as fast as I can do it. Okay, and feel that I'm stable, that I have good control of the weapon. That's all I got. Okay, I've practiced that a lot. Now imagine that same thing, but the other way. I mean, you come down, because your immediate thought is to kneel this way because I'm right-handed. Now you got to reach back here. Okay, it's unstable. Even if you trained yourself to go down on your other knee, like this, you're still leaning away from your body. This is not comfortable. Okay, so yeah, what you want here is your points of contact to be in a line and you're kind of reaching into your mass. That is the correct way. At the end of the day, guys, the most important process of any aspect of carrying a weapon for protection is to practice. When you choose a holster, practice to draw. Before you take that holster out into the world, practice it in the different kind of clothes you wear. Take a look at what's better for concealment. Make sure you have 100% knowledge of every aspect of that holster. Unload your gun, put it in the ankle holster, and go for a jog. Okay, see what happens. Did it bounce out? You need to know those things before you take it out into the world. How does that holster perform? I hope you guys found this video in some way informative. And if you have any questions about ankle holsters or ankle holster carry, please let me know. And outside of that, have a great day, and thanks for watching.